early years. Eli Whitney was born on December 8th in the year of 1765 in the town of Westborough, Massachusetts. He was the eldest child of a prosperous farmer. His mother had died when he was only 11 years old of age, and he showed many signs of interest in mechanical things as he was growing up, and tinkered at an early age and had worked as a blacksmith. Education and employment. Eli Whitney, over many frustrations over Yale's lack of engineering classes, had decided to attend Yale College anyway and had graduated at the age of 27. But unfortunately, upon graduation, he still could not find a job as an engineer. So, in result of this, he moved to South Carolina and then to Georgia to take teaching jobs until both jobs had fell through. While in Georgia, he had met Catherine Greene, who was an American Revolutionary widow whose husband had died in battle. She offered him to stay at her Georgia plantation, Mulberry Grove, where he could occupy himself by working in the fields. Cotton growing before the cotton gin. When Eli Whitney arrived in Georgia, he had discovered that cotton was really only grown along the coast, where the variety was easily separated from the cotton seeds. Inland varieties were usually sticky. He had spent long hours trying to separate the seeds from cotton. So, in order to find the solution to this problem, he wanted to develop a machine that would do all the work for him. Mrs. Greene had encouraged Eli Whitney to invent a machine that would separate the fibers and the seeds. Eli Whitney, the first cotton gin. Eli Whitney's first cotton gin was not really a success, and it was constantly jammed and could not get the job done. But Eli Whitney had learned from his mistakes and had developed a model that had worked, and so was ready for making a patent for it. Cotton gin patent. March 14th, 1794. This patent was created demonstrating what the cotton gin was made of and how it worked. Effects of the cotton gin. Sadly, after the patent of the cotton gin, Eli Whitney and his business partner, Phineas and Miller, who had sought to set up a cotton gin business charging 2/5 of the cotton, did not result in a very good way. Copies of Eli Whitney's gins were made by others, and patent infringement lawsuits had soon sprang up. Cotton production in the South greatly increased, giving the rise to King Cotton in the South. Some have argued that the invention of the cotton gin increased the country's dependence of slave labor and had led to the Civil War. Of a cotton gin, and it makes a lot more cotton and produces more of it by separating the seeds way more quickly through advanced technology. This had helped produce a lot more cotton than it did back then. It was much easier this way. after the cotton gin. Eli had returned to New Haven in frustration and disgusted by how he was rejected in the South, vowing never to go back. He moved to Connecticut in the late 1790s, nearly bankrupt and deeply in debt from the patent litigations. In 1798, he had gotten a contract from the U.S. government to make muskets for the military. Eli came up with the idea of using interchangeable parts on the production line so that when a part was broken, only a new part was needed, not a whole new gun. Interchangeable parts and muskets. Here is a drawing of some of the pistols and muskets that Eli Whitney had manufactured. And here is a diagram showing the musket and the interchangeable parts for that musket. Interchangeable parts. Here is a model that shows an example of a musket using interchangeable parts. Repairs rather than replacement of the whole new gun now possible for the people did not need experts who obviously took a long time and costed a lot of money to make the parts, made the mass production line possible in the U.S. First of the mass production line interchangeable parts had led this created many jobs and helped the market. Today, interchangeable parts and production lines are still used, and even with robots. Here it shows the making of a Toyota car in Japan, and it uses robots to apply the parts to the car in the process of making the car for shipment. Eli Whitney, personal life. Eli had married Henrietta Edwards in 1817 at the age of 52. Eli and Henrietta had 4 children together, and later Eli had retired from his job in 1820 and had died later on January 8th in 1825 from prostate cancer. While he was sick, he even invented medical devices to ease his pain, leaving the children of the family alone. Eli and his descendants are buried in New Haven's historic Grove Street Cemetery today, along with him. But wait, there's more! Eli Whitney, what I learned and how he changed the world. I learned that interchangeable parts are used in all forms of manufacturing around the world. Also, that the idea of interchangeable parts had led to new inventions, resulting in the growth in jobs created as a result, helped unemployed workers get a job and help manage our everyday economy. The cotton gin changed the South and our country through its effects on agriculture, slavery, and even the Civil War. It is possible for one person to have an impact on world history and the world economy. If you have any questions, please let me know.